Hi Stampers, it's Madeline from stampinwithmadeline.stampinup.net, and this was the second card that I did with my group, my Stamp 10 Stamping Club, and we meet once a month, and they spend at least $15. I teach them how to make 2 cards, and they get all the materials for free to make the cards with me, and there's a different hostess every month. So a hostess gets all the benefits of a half price item if they get to a certain amount for the party order, and they get stamping rewards, which means free stuff from the catalog. It's awesome. So this was our second card, and we just love getting together, and they loved this embossing powder card. So I can't wait to show you. So let's get started. You will need an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper, and we're going to fold it in half, so that'll be your first step, and then we'll set it aside. So again, you could score this using a scoring tool, but just for the time, we're going to just do that. Okay, then we had the same size front, so this is going to be 4.25 by 5.5, just so it covers up all the white. And this is rich raspberry. Then we have, I just wanted a little bit smaller, so this is 4 by 5.25. This is sweet sugar plum, and this is where all of our action is going to be happening today. Okay, so the first things that we do is I have, let me show you. This is a bundle that was in our holiday catalog, and it is amazing. I love this set, and it's on my order list. This is actually a good friend of mine's that she let me borrow. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and my favorite stamp out of all of this is like the fairy dust here. I just love that. I think that could be used all year round, to be honest. And it comes with the Thinlits die that has some amazing, let me show you everything that's in here, because it is just, look at all this detail. It is worth it to get the bundle. I always tell you. You save 10% when you get the bundle, and if you get one and not the other, believe me, you always go back wanting it. So you should get the bundle. 10% off. This is great. Only till January 3rd. So make sure you get your holiday orders in. Okay, so what I did was I used those Thinlits, and I cut out all the pieces for them beforehand, just because we only have a certain amount of time. So this makes it easy to keep the party moving. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to be using Versamark to get all of this embossing powder effect. So if you've never done embossing powder, listen up, because it is a great technique and it makes your cards look super special, and I promise you it is easy. So the very first step of embossing that you always want to remember is that you need to get an embossing buddy. So this is right in our catalog, and this makes all the difference when you are embossing. So very first step, you want to do this. So it's like a little pillow that you just want to brush all over this. So the important thing about embossing is that it's very easy to get fingerprints on here that then the embossing powder sticks to. So you just want to get this really goodly covered, and don't touch it with your fingers. There we go. Okay, so now when that's fully covered, then we're going to do the stamping. So here is the fairy dust. So we're going to do this first. Now you want to take the Versamark and you really want to pat on it, because that'll give you more control of where you're putting the ink. And when you're done, you really want to wipe this off, because this is, again, that wet, sticky ink that will not come off as easily when it's dry. So just make sure that you wipe it off when you're done. So this is going to go in the center. Just press it down for 3 seconds, and there we go. So you can see this, see how it's like wet? That's what you want. Okay, and again, try not to get any fingerprints on it. Then we're going to do our sentiment, and you can just stamp it right in here because it's a small stamp. So just right in that Versamark. We're going to stamp that in the bottom. There we go. And then we're going to do the star. So the star is very little. You want to re-ink it every time you're stamping. So I'm going to put these a little bit all over. There we go. Let's put one more. Now, the Versamark dries out very quickly, so you want to make sure that you cover it fully and store it upside down so that the ink is always juicy on the bottom. Okay, so now this is where the magic happens, okay? So what you want to do is you want to get the embossing powder on. So I'm going to use silver for this. So what I always do is I get like a little Tupperware and I put this in there. And if you put it in a Tupperware, then you can always reuse the embossing powder you don't use. So this is right in our catalog. This is silver, and you can find it on my website. So I'm just going to pour like a whole bunch. You kind of want to get it all over your design. And then you're just going to shake it down to get it on the rest on the bottom. And it's okay if you don't get it. We can always go back, but it usually does pretty good. You're going to shake it off, and then you're going to flip it upside down and just flick it. Okay, and there we go. Look at that. Okay, so this is just powder right now, so nothing special. Wait and see. It is unbelievable. So we are going to use a heat gun. You can get one from the catalog. You can get one at a hardware store. You can get one on Amazon. Mine is from Amazon, so let's get it. Okay, so this is mine from Amazon, and wait and see. You will see the magic happen right away. So let's get started. All right. And there we are. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Did you see the magical change happen? It's just amazing. And this embossing powder really adds a fancy element to your card, and it's not hard at all. Didn't I tell you? It was super easy and super pretty. And just, I did it, but just be careful doing it on here, because on your piercing pad, because it'll melt it and it gets that glittery embossing powder on it. But when you're using the heat gun, you want to be super careful because it can burn you very easily. No, you can't use a hairdryer. I have had that question many times. It just does not get hot enough. You need something that's going to get so hot. So you can get a heat tool for very inexpensive, and it's easy to find. So now we are done with the embossing. So now we're going to finish up this card, and all we have to do is really put it together. So we are going to, oh, another thing, when this embossing powder gets heated, you want to leave it for a little bit because it will smudge and it still sticks to your finger. So just wait a few minutes for it to fully cool, and then it'll be okay. Okay, so while we're waiting it to cool, we're going to put these together. So what I use glue dots for this to put it on just because it's so delicate. So I use the mini glue dots from our catalog right on my website. And I'm just going to use 2. And they roll up really nicely, so it's really nice to use these for little intricate designs like this. So they just look like this. They come right off. It's like a little glue dot, exactly like the name. Stick it onto your paper, and then we're going to stick it on to the big star. So I use Sweet Sugar Plum for this as well, and I also use the Flirty Flamingo for the big star. I wanted to use different colors than red and green, and I really like how this turned out. I wanted the star to be able to go on and be a 3-dimensional card. So we're going to use one stamping dimensional. These again are in the catalog, easy to get, right on my website. We're going to use one whole square, and what this does is it just pops it off the page. So it has adhesive on one side, so we're going to put that on, and then we're going to take the paper off on the back. There we go. And we're going to place this in the center of our fairy dust. And there we are. Isn't that so pretty? I just love this card. Okay, now we're going to use our adhesive and glue this on to the rich razzleberry. You want it to be centered so that Some of the rich raspberry is poking out. We just want that little accent. There we go. And then we're going to put adhesive on the back of this so that we can put it on our Whisper White. Make sure you're covering all of the white and then just press down. And there you are. Look at how easy card making is. And it's super fancy. All right, so this is in the holiday catalog. So just a reminder, only till January 3rd can you order this set. And I'm telling you, it is a definite. So check out my website, stampwithmadelyn.stampinup.net, and place your orders today. All right, well, that is it for today, Stampers. I hope you liked this card. Please leave a comment below. I love the conversation that continues after this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little red button. I have lots of weekly videos and lots of fun coming up. So I really want you to stay in tune for all of that. All right, keep stamping, Stampers. Bye.